Hey guys, XJ here, and today's just gonna be a video about what I think about the combat beta in RuneScape, and what I like, what I dislike, and maybe what I kind of expect from the future of the game. So, over here you can't really test much, but I will say that right off the bat, the biggest buff was easily melee. Melee is already pretty strong, but even at the highest end, it was definitely buffed because the fast. I sometimes pay attention to the fastest times, like Zamorak. Like used to be really hard to get like a 5:20 or 5 minute kill. Like people easily get 4:30s now at 500% in rage. So definitely a big buff because the person I saw even get that time didn't have like the most optimal gear. Range is pretty much the same, maybe even a little bit stronger though, I will say, which is kind of funny because it's already super strong compared to on live it's already super strong, and melee has so many issues and it could still have improvements. Magic I think is roughly honestly the same. Uh, so that there's that. I will talk about what I think about it later. And necromancy didn't really get changed at all, even though they hinted at it. So, what do I like about the combat beta? Well, let's get my melee gear out because I think it's easy. I think much better to show it with melee. Well, actually, before that, so the biggest change is that you can say surge and then resonance right away, and what this makes what this actually creates is usually in PVM on live, what you need to do is use an ability and then during that global cooldown surge so that you don't waste a global cooldown on just using a surge ability. And I like it's really nice with melee because now with melee, like I say like a lot, that's alright. But let's say I'm with my range. Okay, I can attack this target, Q an ability, and instantly Q another ability. But then when you and I have a dazing shot, so it's gonna be a little bit. And let me get my melee gear out and show you what to do with melee. And with melee, what you have to do is you can queue abilities and you have to wait until you get there, and then you can hit. And so they don't have the benefit of being able to use an ability and then surge. Uh, Otherwise the ability would get canceled. But what they can do instead is target, surge, and then use an ability instantly, and that's just a big buff to melee in terms of mobility and fluidity. Another big change I really like with melee is the ability to move around targets when using thresholds. My issues with this though is, let's say I'm attacking a target. Oh, I'm using assault. I don't like that what if you misclick and you're out of range? I kind of wish that there was a setting, or maybe at least for maybe the first hit or 1 or 2 ticks of using ability, if you click outside the range, it would keep me here. Let's say I'm using a threshold and I'm clicking over here, it would keep me in range. You know what I mean? So I really would like that. Also, I'm not sure why it keeps moving me that way when I'm using destroy. That's kind of strange. Let's try it again with destroy, because you can threshold from here. Assault moves you there at the end. If I destroy, it's just that the last tick for some reason moves you unless you click. No, even if you click, you move. That's very strange. I would even say that's kind of not fluid. So they probably need to honestly fix that because I don't think that's natural to do, because melee can hit from there. Or at least should. Why can't melee hit like this? I can't understand why. Yeah, they should probably make it so you can hit a target. Why do you need to stand in front of them? You should be able to hit them. I should be able to melee from here. And you actually can. And look, if you click, you can melee, but then if you use an ability, why do you move forward? I would fix that. I think that makes it very clunky. Because melee feels very fluid, but at the same time very slippery, too slippery. Another thing I would like is when you're attacking a target, let's say this was like Zamorak Demon in Part 7. Right? One issue is that if you cast a threshold, you don't move with the target. You have to what you have to do is on tick, use ability and move to be able to use a threshold while moving on the target. So I kind of hope that maybe they can make it so you just move with the target as you're catching a threshold, because currently, let's say again I'm attacking a demon right now. You have to use abilities and still click like crazy. It doesn't you can just well, That only has to do with threshold. Like it's so complicated because it's such a weird issue. But pretty much, if the demon's not moving or is moving, you have to click the threshold and move with them. And if you want to, put bleeds in them and use basics, you don't actually have to do anything. You just have to hit them and then just, just click abilities. I just think that doesn't feel natural, so I would like it if thresholds, when you're using channel abilities with melee, you follow the target. And maybe there was like a leniency thing where if they're out of range, it doesn't care about it. I don't know. But sometimes you shouldn't move out of range. I don't know. Because you actually stay in range, but it's just the ability gets canceled. So I would probably put some kind of safeguard in place. Like, I don't know, if the target walks one away while you're moving, you're still in range. I don't know. Something like that, maybe? I don't know. What else, honestly? So, I will say that melee is kind of strange where, the rotation's kind of just like, I don't know. Like the laying swords have these special where like you're supposed to like nuke at the end, but like I don't understand why you would even do that. Like so, let me Zerk, do a Zerk rotation. Let me barge. Let me do Chaos Roar, Dragon Claws. Look at that damage. I'm not even overloaded, guys. That like, oh yeah, let me redo that. Let me redo that because I'm not even overloaded, and that that's a lot of damage, guys. So let's go get the buffs. Let's go get a Calgren Demon too. And I just want to showcase like what the like typical rotation is. Although I will say this is like more of a Zamorak rotation. At other bosses you want to kind of end off with a Zuck Sword special, but I don't know. So we're gonna Zerk, a Adren Pot, Barge, Assault. You can destroy after if you want. Destroy. I like destroy. Then what is it? Chaos 4. Then Greater Fury, Omni, Overpower, Greater Fury again, and then just Dragon Claw. And then, if you use Laying Sword spec, 30k damage, which is pretty good. Because 30k, yeah, it's not bad. But, yeah, Laying Swords are interesting because they also AoE. Like, how much AoE damage do they do? Yeah, 4k, that's not bad. It's like a Quake, right? If you get a spear, how much damage? Yeah, it's like pretty much a Quake. I will say, like, again, the biggest issue with melee, like, melee is probably going to be the best style to use for beginners or, like, people that are, like, semi-decent at PvM but don't have money, because the biggest thing that was holding it back was the hit cap. The hit cap can be bypassed, but you need Smoke Cloud. You need a Dragon 2-8, Dragon Longsword with Essence of Finality, sometimes people do. You need Smoke Cloud Laying Swords, and yeah, it just kind of gets that pain in the butt, honestly. But now it's just going to be like, oh, Barge, Attack, Assault, and Chaos Roar. And even if you don't have Dragon Claws, just Overpower, usually 30k, 30k. And there you go. So, yeah, melee is definitely very strong and definitely a big winner out of this beta because I think I literally I did a 1000 rage kill as Zamorak, and I literally just one cycled him. It was either with melee or range. Pretty sure it was melee. But like, he literally dies before like the first hit even hits you. Like, the blast hits you, then the first hit, and then he's just dead. Magic, yeah, it's again pretty much the same. Like, so what do I not like in the beta? So I'll be honest, this anticipate thing, I actually kind of had issues with it before, but the biggest thing I like about the anticipate is I'm using assault. You can actually anticipate during the assault, and I actually like that a lot. One thing I wish they do is, look, I'm gonna cast a destroy. I'm gonna Vuln Bomb. It cancels it. I kind of wish that Vuln Bombs didn't cancel your thresholds. So I'll be honest, I kind of didn't like this change at first, but I think the anticipate change is fine. I will say though that I do think they should just remove the 10% damage reduction from anticipate, because otherwise, even at bosses where there's like, say I'm doing AOD, you're just going to attack and just spam anticipate, because why not? It's 10% damage reduction. So I don't know. I just have an issue with the lossless damage reduction, because it's going to lead a gameplay where you just spam anticipate. So what else is there, to be honest? I mean, it's funny I just said what I don't like about the beta. I think let's just keep talking about what I like about the beta. There's actually not that much I don't like about the beta. If we look at um, range, like range is still very strong with Gamora and Calgren Demon, but even melee, I would say is a big benefactor of this because now you don't even need to use Gamora. Gamora was kind of necessarily with melee before because the hit cap changes, and because of that you had to do crit builds. But now because of the hit cap, you can actually use Vampirism Scrimshaw, and you still hit 30k. So it's like, oh, let's get a Vampirism Scrimshaw. I'm using Superior Vampirism Scrimshaw, and let's put on Melee Prayer. Let's Zerg. Let's Barge. Let's just attack. Let's do Chaos Roar. Let's do Dragon Claws. Oh look, I'm still hitting like a truck. Let's do Overpower. Plenty of damage. So that's probably the biggest change is that melee isn't tied to Grimoire as much as it used to be. So that's a really big change. And if we do all these bleeds, they're just gonna see so much damage. I also didn't at longer bosses like that are in Zamorak, it's actually very good at Chaos Roar into Zux Spec. The Zux Spec does so much damage if you use it towards the end. How many hits does this do, guys? 3k, 2k, yeah. It's pretty good. What else is there to talk about? So I like that styles aren't gated by Gamora. Like obviously Gamora's still very strong. It's still more DPS, but it still leaves room for like, oh, maybe Full Book can be good here if I'm not taking that much damage. Maybe Jazz Book because I don't do much damage. Another thing I was testing was Rages are really good at Vorkath now. So, probably in groups because if Range get free DPS, they just go to town. Range can benefit from the Jazzbane arrows to 3% more damage and hit chance, plus Undead Slayer perk, Undead Slayer ability, and Salve Amulet. So they like with even without Salve Amulet, my Gothic spell was doing 18k and then 27k. The Bow of the Last Guardian. So the amount of damage that was being dealt was just honestly insane. Another cool change was again can I PK myself a little bit here? Yeah, so I hurt myself a little bit, and let's do a little bit of hits. And then let me do my Death Sweetness. And let's use a Gothic Bow spec. Gothic Bow, and it hits a 7k. And I'm going to heal, I think, about like 4,500. And I just think it's a very nice heal. Especially for Rangers that don't have like all these specials. I think the heal is very nice. So, I like the Gothic Bow as well. But, as it stands, I don't find me using it much because, you know, why heal for a little bit when you can just do 1 billion damage and Soul Split, you know? Another special I like, but I didn't really get to test it, but it's mostly probably showcased more in group play, is the Barrel Chase, Barrel Anchor. So, how much adrenaline is this special, guys? I think, let's find out. So, we're going to F5Y. 50% adrenaline. This buff's very strong, increases hit chance, and yeah, it doesn't reduce stats anymore, but it does reduce damage by 10%, so that's pretty nice as well. Wow, I look pretty cool like this. What the? That looks pretty cool. But too bad I don't face it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for group play, but it's just kind of sad that a lot of the game is just like, you know, why do group Vorkath? I do hope group Vorkath gets better. There's a lot of clarity issues. I was streaming earlier, and the amount of clarity issues with Vorkath is just really bad. So, to be honest, I'm kind of rambling on and on, but like, in general, all the changes in the beta are very good. It helps the lower end a lot. The only concern I say I would have is I don't want styles to be stronger necessarily because, like, I don't know, unless they make some insanely strong bosses, I guess, but like, Draculith armor made Zamorak really fast. Like, one cycling Zamorak was honestly possible with all styles already. With melee is possible, magic was possible, and range was possible. I'm not sure if range was actually possible, but I know with Draculith armor, I think it became more possible. Necromancy has no issue with as in doing the 250,000 damage to Zamorak plus Ring of Death. Ring of Death is an issue in itself, honestly. But what would I expect from the combat beta at this point? Well, I wish that when I'm ranging, I'm going to attack and let's get rapid fire. If I'm rapid fire, you can actually change the arrow you're using as you're doing a channel. When you're doing magic, you can't actually do that, and I hate this that it keeps exiting the bang. Magic two-handed. If you look at my abilities, like right now, I'm on what do you even call this? Insight Fear. I'm gonna do a fixate into. I'm spamming my F1 key. It's not changing my spell. Oh wait, does it change it? Oh, it can only change it at every hit. So that ability, you have to do it. So you can change it, but it has to be on a specific hit. So like, I'm on Insight Fear right now. Oh no, I'm not on Insight Fear. Let's go on Insight Fear. Oh my! See, I'm spamming F4, but it's not going because you have to like wait and then not. What the hell? Oh, sorry. Okay, let's do some testing. Sorry, I need to fix this keybinding. My bad. So we're gonna put Insight Fear on, and we're gonna attack. And if I spam F1, does it change the spell? No, it can't change the spell. And Fixate's the only thing that's like that because every tick is like you like it. It counts as like an ability itself. So I'm gonna use a Fixate and then smash F4. Am I gonna change? Yeah. You'd like smash it though, which is like really annoying. Like you had to do it at such a specific tick. What about the Insight? No, I think it only works with challenge. You know, I'm sorry. This game's such a shit show that I'm also really getting a headache. But pretty much you can't change spells during conk, but you can change spells during a fixate, but only during specific ticks. So like, I do it now. It's I don't know. I think it only happens a tick after, but you should just be able to cast away. Like right now, I'm using Exandrate. Okay, let me swap to Insight Fear. It should be on Insight Fear right now. It isn't. So I hope they fix that at some point. Magic also just needs more versatility because it's kind of annoying that it's just a crit build and it's just like spam Staff of Armor isn't just like. And also another issue I don't like is I think four-ticking actually exists. So like, oh look, you do that and then auto wild magic. You can still four-tick. I really don't like that they keep on bringing four-tick. They keep on teasing us with the idea of removing four-ticking, but they keep on bringing it back. And I'm not joking. They just remove four-ticking and just give magic something else. Just buff the bleeds or something. Like, it's kind of annoying that they keep on leaving four-ticking when it's such a... I'm sorry. I think it's a stupid mechanic. Like, look at Zerk rotations. So you can Zerk, barge, and then like attack, and then it's like, oh, let me cast Freedom, and then get a 2H auto, and I don't know. It's just I can do it right. I just don't like it that much. I don't know. I've never said everything on my Twitch stream too. I might even I don't know. Like, is there any much to say about this beta? There's just a lot of like small clarity issues, but overall it's very good. The anticipation change is fine. Just remove that 10%. This is a really ramble video. I don't even care because you know what? The only people that watch me are people, a small group of people, guys. You know, I'm a very real person. I don't just read the Wikipedia. Oh my gosh. So I'm sure Jax is aware that Dracolich armor is broken. I'm sure they're aware that Necromancer, like, I would be a fan of things that's got nerfed in general, but you know, people probably just say that. They like, do they even believe that? I don't know. So I'm just trying to remember if I have anything else to say, but I think that's honestly it. Overall, the changes are very good. I like that it's like Grimoire, you got stuck in Grimoire. Melee is very strong now. Quite fun, but again, I do hope, again, my hopes is that they make combat more fluid with like the issues I showed with like not being able to change spells with magic easily. Range should honestly have an icon above your head. Like, I should see, like, I'm on full arrow. Why don't I just see a full arrow icon above my head or something, you know? Like, just like Necromancy, how it keeps the necrosis. Because my issue is, it's hard to tell what I'm doing sometimes. And, I don't know what else, to be honest. There was something else, but I keep on forgetting because I never ramble on. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just hope that they do end up reworking styles and like completely change what range of magic is and stuff, because like I just feel like a lot of this combat systems is outdated. As in, I would love it if range magic and melee were reworked to be like necromancy, where it's like, oh, so, you know, like I use my rapid fire and I need to put stacks of, you know, even puncture's even an interesting ability like that, but it just lasts too short for what it is. So it might need to rework it or something. It'd be like some kind of stack thing, and then like you unleash it or something like that. I'm not sure. But I do hope they do a bigger rework on combat styles and make them, I don't know, funner instead of, because my issue with magic especially is if you lag ever so slightly with magic or mess up, you're punished so severely. Melee is actually weight and you gain more damage, and range doesn't have that issue to that much, because the Dracula infusion buff lasts a really long time, so you're usually fine. So yeah, my throat's killing me. I'm really hungry. I do hope they polish the system up. I think this is fine. I think they just need to remove the damage reduction from anticipation if they want to keep this. And also, oh, I forgot. They need to make a change with melee, where let's say I'm doing Zamorak and I'm killing the rune. Okay, I kill the rune, I surge, and then I dive. Oh look, my global cooldown happens. Can they just make dive a variation? Just not, because no one uses dive for damage. Like literally, no one uses dive for damage. No one. Because why would I ever do this? Why would you click on a target and dive to it? Why would you ever do that when instead you can click on a target, cue this ability, boom boom? Why would you ever do that? It's AoE, yeah. I just feel like, I think that ability is just a disaster ever since they made it. This bladed dive. I would personally just put it on a different ability, and because you need to take off your melee completely, and then it'll change back to dive. But you can't put dive. Like if you look, dive is right there. You put on your swords, there's bladed dive, and it's just like you can't put the no global cooldown variation without take off your melee weapon. So I do hope they fix that, because that's my one issue with melee too. Is like when you go to try, do something, it's like, oh, a global cooldown happened. Oh, and sorry, my brain juices are flowing. One of the best changes in the beta, which I love, was melee. I have mobile in my melee. I have lucky 6 mobile, as you can see. It's lucky 4. Yeah, lucky 4 mobile. When you barge, look at the cooldown on my barge. Where is it? I don't even know where my barge is, guys. Guys, where is my barge? I don't know where my barge is. Where is my barge? It's my B key. Oh, it's here. Yeah, when you click barge, it actually benefits from mobile. So that's a really, really good change. And at the same time, like, oh look, let me Berserk, barge, I get adrenaline. That melee, the biggest issues with melee, it always gets the short end of the stick. Like, wow, mobile is a great perk. I can move around bosses and do all these mechanics so fast. Oh, sorry, melee doesn't get barge, so they didn't bring a switch. Like, they don't get adrenaline from barge. And I don't know. So I like the melee change a lot. I think melee is a lot more fun. I think I'm definitely, I might even try out melee more, because I think melee is, like, I'm not even that good at melee or range. Like there's people who get 6-minute Zamorak kills, or 6, 7, even 8 minutes at 2K, and it's like, bro, I can do like 10, 11, 12. Melee, again, my fastest time with melee was like a 6-minute, 500% rage. This other guy has less gear than me, 430. Like, I'm not even doing it right. So, yeah. That's kind of funny, the difference, though. A whole minute and a half. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to end the stream now, or the video. So, overall, very good changes. I think the mobile change was really good on melee, that they can just barge now and not suffer. So, I was good. I hope they revert that. They didn't fix the Warcraft fight, though. Bye-bye.